Did you know that in such a mundane thing as a wiring harness, there are a lot of aspects, philosophical aspects, as defined by the Dutch philosopher Herman Dooyeweerd? Let's take a journey along these two wiring connectors from a Nashua photocopier of the 1980s. Let's start with the connectors to the printed circuit board, probably the control circuit board. Lots of wires coming out to control all the components of the photocopier. There is going to another couple of circuit boards there, and then we get to some small connectors there. We get to a junction, and we get yet other small connectors here with different numbers of pins, different shapes. Why the difference? There's some more connectors. We'll see lots of different types of connectors, because it's important that things are not connected wrongly by those who manufacture the thing, and there need to be a clear distinction between things that are connected, and that clear distinction is what Dooyeweerd calls the analytical aspect. There's no more connectors here. There's a tiny one here, a bigger one here, a small one here, a small green one here, going up to another couple of small ones. So let's come back to this junction. Notice how the cables are bound together. That's partly a physical aspect of binding, but purposely to keep them together, which is a spatial aspect. We're going to move along, which is the kinematic aspect of moving. Now, the whole purpose of a wiring harness is kinematic, to allow current to move from one component to another, from the control board to other components. And this is a long stretch here because these components are a long way from these ones. Spatial aspect. Position. Here is yet another type of connector here, a power one. There's a whole load of little ones here. There are lots and lots of connectors. Quantitative aspect. Let's go to the other wiring harness. It starts with a switch to detect something, some pressure, some position. It's formed. Notice the different wiring colours. Again, that's for distinction, the analytic aspect. It comes through a piece of metal here, which is actually part of casing, to probably keep things apart, physical things apart, like radio waves out or toner one side or the other. That's physical aspect. Did you notice there on here there's a little bit of blackening? That again is a physical aspect, toner escaping, and the wire is to try to protect the electronics from chemicals and toner. More types of connectors here, and yet more. Here's a funny little one. Again, it's all formed together, which is the formative aspect. And we come back to a whole bunch of connectors here again, many of them, and to a relay. Notice the label on there, that's the lingual aspect of signage. Another power connector, and we get to the end of this harness. All the different connectors, they have to be agreeing on standards, and that's the social aspect of a wiring harness. And then if you look at the whole, there's some beauty to it, and that's the aesthetic aspect. Lots of different aspects to such a mundane thing as a wiring harness.